Hello everyone and welcome back to my Days of Our Lives 21 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. In Moments Days of Our Lives, Stephanie intercepts Marlena at the sanitarium to ask about Everett. Marlena was just with him, but Bobby's been in control and he's not letting Everett out. Stephanie asks if Everett has to re-emerge at some point, but Marlena can't answer that. Marlena tells her not to give up Stopgap. They've just begun working with Everett. Stephanie, however, feels shamefaced for being angry with him and his double life. It wasn't his fault, and her and Jada's intervention may have made effects worse if Bobby no way lets go of control. Jada and Kayla are eating in the cantina. As Jada addresses about how weird it was to see Everett transfigure into Bobby before her eyes. I've no way seen that in real life. Indeed, on television. Kayla gets it, but it is veritably real. Both Abigail and Kimberly suffered from it. Jada wants to understand what Bobby is going through. Their marriage ended poorly, but they participated a lot formerly. He meant a lot to her. Just also, Jada gets a call about a firing at the Kiriakis estate and Kayla starts to horrify. Over at the manse, Sarah calls John again for further help and he raises Steve's gun behind their tails to point at them. Steve's phone rings and John seems to snap out of it, rushing over to help hold the crack while Sarah answers the phone to fill Kayla in on what happened. Kayla runs off to the sanitarium to meet her hubby, as the ambulance arrives. At the sanitarium, Marlena reminds Stephanie of how bleak effects got for Abigail when she went through this, but in the end the personalities integrated. They get cut off as John pops out of the elevator to fill them in on how bad effects got at the manse. Steve's forfeiture, but he's in room 4. Abigail rushes off to see him, but not before Kayla comes into his room. Steve assures them both he's forfeiture. He was just too slow when Constantine started firing. Steve also fills them in on Constantine's falsehoods, murders and tried murders, from Maggie to Victor, and admits Khan took Teresa hostage. Unfortunately, our plan just went off the rails. Abigail leaves them alone for Kayla to yell at Steve, which she wastes no time in doing. Kayla takes him to task for not knowing Constantine wouldn't fight back. I just wish you'd have given me the heads up to let me know you were walking into a high-threat situation. Steve cracks a joke about transferring her the bat signal, but he felt it was better to keep her out of it. Kayla tells him to stop making opinions for her. We're supposed to be mates, but you don't treat me like a mate. In front of the vault, Alex yells at Xander. What the hell were you allowing? You could have shot Teresa. Xander shrugs that he's always been an excellent shooter. Am I to take this to mean I should have let Constantine choke Teresa in front of us? He says Constantine was a sanguine maniac who's now out of their lives for good. Teresa wants to be sure he's dead and Brady assures her he is. Alex, Xander and Brady also consider his last words about an adversary in your midst. It's the person who abducted Victoria easily. The punk in the hoodie, as Xander puts it, while Teresa looks uncomfortable. Sarah calls Xander to see if everything's okay, but he misses it as he's busy covering up Constantine's body. He's about to get back to her when Jada shows up wondering what the hell happened, especially if that shape under the tarp is what she thinks it is. Brady rats Xander out and Jada wants the murder armament. Tell me everything from the morning. After some hemming and hawing, Brady tells her the snide tale of Constantine. Xander presto on to shooting Constantine to cover Teresa. But Brady and Alex both throw him back under the machine, saying he'd little to no regard for Teresa's life. You ungrateful twits. I just saved Teresa's life, and rather of saying thank you, you try to get me arrested. After getting everything she needs, Jada says everyone can go except for Xander. He killed a man. Justified or not, she needs an sanction statement. Thanks for backing me up, he gripes to his family as Jada hauls him off. John gets a textbook from Brady and tells Marlena that Constantine is dead, shot by Xander. I see and say I'm worried about that, Marlena says. Same. But when she says his reign of terror is just about over, John's response is, not relatively yet, document. He breaks out the card and tells her what happened. He nearly shot Steve. Marlena assures her hubby he'd no way hurt Steve, but they've got to work to get him out from under Constantine's spell. What if it's not enough? What if I am still just a ticking time lemon? Marlena's sure they can free him from the residual goods of the swaying. John can't be as positive as her. especially knowing he killed Konstantin's son. The only thing he can do now is leave Salem. Back in the Kyriakis' living room, Brady puts ice on Teresa's neck. She's surprised at how nice he's being after that morning. She apologizes for hurting him, but Brady says she's the mama of his son, and he'll always watch about her. Alex wanders in and tells them he can take over. In other words, beat it, he tells Brady. But Brady won't leave until Teresa says she wants him to go. She thinks it would be stylish and he leaves. I didn't mean to be a haul about it, Alex says when Brady's gone. Teresa wants to thank him for delivering her. He, meanwhile, would no way admit it to Xander, but Xander did the right thing and Alex wishes he'd been the one to do it. Konstantin was just trying to hurt him by saying Victor had no way been a father to him, but Alex is going to do the veritably stylish to make his pater proud. Down at the police station, Jada and Xander wrap up in the interrogation room just in time for Sarah to burst in. She worries the police will press charges and he's not sure if they'll by whether he was guarding Teresa or shooting Con out of vengeance. Well, which was it? Sarah asks. Xander says he just replied when Konstantin started strangling Teresa. He's not sure what was going through his head, but he's not sorry he shot the bastard. His only remorse wasn't learning who abducted Victoria first. In the show's last many twinkles, Teresa and Alex head upstairs to take a nap, and he asks her to stay in his room now. Jada and Stephanie catch up at the sanitarium. Everett/Bobby is being moved to Bayview because they haven't been suitable to make any progress. She also tells Jada that Steve's forfeiture. Back in their room, Steve apologizes and says he needs to do better, but says they've been then ahead. Occasionally their jobs bear effects to stay quiet. But it's not the same, Kayla insists. They ease up a bit as she examines his crack, glad that he's still alive. Marlena, meanwhile, tells John that he ain't just run down. He's not. He needs to pay his felicitations at Katharina's gravesite. And he needs to do it alone, after one further round of deprogramming. You my everything, he tells Marlena, hugging her and looking down at the card as creepy music plays. Xander and Sarah are back in the manse, relieved that Trask didn't want to press charges. Sarah goes up to check on Victoria and her mama, leaving Xander to talk to Victor's print. You hear that, Uncle Vic? Fairly am in the clear. But you and I both know why I shot Konstantin. I did it for you, old man. I hope now you can rest in peace. At utmost, we might see Konstantin in flashbacks as the story around Teresa's involvement with the man continues to play out. Capello stepped into the part back in April of 2023, when he came compactly involved in the plot which set up Hope and Harris in Greece. Several months laterally, when Brady and Alex began searching for answers about Victor's jest. In the weeks before his death, the trail led them to Konstantin, who claimed to be an old friend of the departed Kyriakis' primogenitor. From there, Konstantin wormed his way into the lives of not only Maggie but everyone in her entire circle. Along the way, he committed what numerous suckers considered to be the insupportable sin of making Maggie look foolish. How, they wondered, could she not see through the egregious con man? By the time Maggie turned the tables on Konstantin at the marriage, and he confessed to having boggled Victor, the jotting was surely on the wall, and it read, "Konstantin must die." Look for Konstantin to continue to impact stories over the coming week or two, as Maggie finds out indeed further about the man to whom she nearly committed herself. Plus, there are several big secrets still remaining to be revealed, including the verity about Xander's maternity and Teresa's involvement in the dead man's schemes.